one way of how you can go from sim racing to potentially real racing. What a race! The Prodigy Pass final race in the MX-5 at Oulton Park. I'm gonna show you how the race went and tell you why I did certain moves, why I hesitated to certain moves, and what the mindset was like. And also to show you the race from my POV. I will quickly take a moment to say thank you to Prodigy, to the whole team, to everyone who was involved. It's such an amazing feeling, and I still can't believe it actually. It's such an honor to be one of the Prodigy Pass winners. Big shout out to everyone who was in that race, who competed there. It was a clean race from my perspective. Thank you for the Prodigy Pass. Cool. We're going to start with the quali lap. You're going to watch the quali lap with me together from cockpit view. Here we go. Turn 1 was actually not that bad. I had to lift a tiny little bit. That corner actually felt good, so I knew I'm on a decent lap so far. Very tricky corner. You don't want to go wide there. You heard that? On throttle, off throttle, on throttle. Lost a bit of time there, a little bit of momentum as well. That corner, very tricky. If you want to go fast, you have to risk it. If you want to go safe, you're leaving a tenth or two there. That slide took a little bit of momentum away, but so far still a good lap. That was actually my second lap. That's the lap that counted. I finished 9th in quali. Jesus did a 150 flat. William did a 150 flat, and the rest of the pack was actually very close. And if you look from P6 to P10, that's within a tenth. That's 5 positions within a tenth. It's really cool to see. So yeah, starting from 9th, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I was not that satisfied with my lap, but that's what every racer says. I expected something around 0.1.2 in quali, but probably everyone in this lobby said, I should have been better. I should have been better. Maybe even Jesus and William, like, even though they did the fastest lap times, they probably also said like, I missed the 10th here, I missed the 10th there. It's pretty usual. At least that's what I say many times. So starting from P9, actually pretty good. I know that in front of me I have fast people, which is actually a good thing, right? I have fast people in front of me that I can follow. As you know, the slipstream in the MX-5 is crucial. It's powerful. It's helpful. But it can also be very disappointing when you're the leading car and the car behind can follow you with less effort. Saving tires, saving fuel, not interesting here. Saving the tires, saving resources in the brain, taking it a little bit more easy and just following you around. And of course, it's Oulton Park. It's an off-track heaven. You also do not want to take risks of making too many off-tracks, and also not off-tracks that give you a big advantage, right? You gotta take it easy, and with such a narrow track, it's also difficult to overtake. You have to go side by side with someone in slow corners. Let me show you how the race went. So this is the start of the race. I'm in P9. I have the left side. I don't have a clutch, as you can see here probably. So it's neutral, full throttle, slam it into first gear. If someone has a clutch and can actually use it, it's an advantage. We actually did a great start. Take a look. I saw in my mirror that I had no risks from being overtaken from behind. That little tap on the brake gave me a huge advantage. So I immediately have to go for the move. And he actually lifted GG's for him. Thank you for that. Again, I have so much more momentum. I'm boxing him so that he cannot move to the left or to the right. I was not planning to attack Cam there, wouldn't make sense. But he could keep it on the inside. So I have a disadvantage here. We had a little contact there, but it's all good. As you can see, I was trying to be on the inside there to see if I can sneak. But he didn't let me, which is absolutely fair. So the goal now is to settle down, not lose any positions. That is very important. And just, I'm trying to observe, who am I racing against? How are they behaving on track? And of course, you have to go for the moves. You have to go for the moves. If you have a chance, go for it. Especially in the beginning when the field is pretty dense, you can actually do that. When the field gets a little bit spread, then sometimes it doesn't make sense to go for a move. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Being very careful with the off tracks. I was thinking about, should I just dive on the inside if he leaves the room? He did not leave enough room. Fair play to him. So I'm not going for a move. Taking it easy. Observing if he can keep up with the pace of the guys in front. Also, I'm not looking only at him, man. I'm looking as far as I can, trying to observe how the others drive, who is aggressive, who is not, who is going for moves, who is not, who is teaming up. Also, I'm watching the gaps between the small groups, because in the MX-5 you don't want to leave a gap more than 1.5 seconds or something on such a short track. My very first note, I see that the Peter car, I think it's called Tom, right? Was braking pretty early there in that corner. Also in the first chicane. So I have 2 overtaking spots, well basically just one. It's the last corner. You do not want to go side by side in the first chicane. You're gonna lose a lot of momentum. Tiny gaps. I was still trying to show my car like, hey, I want to pass you. I don't know how yet, but I want to pass you, so that he's aware of that. And I was hoping that he's gonna look a lot into my rear, into the mirror, and I was hoping that this is gonna make him nervous. But he kept it cool. So now you see we have 2 cars in front, and then there's already a gap. It's not a huge gap, but it is already a decent gap that you lose a little bit of the slipstream power. So worst case scenario, the Peter car in front is making a move on the black car in front. If they fight, if they battle, we're gonna lose the draft. And I'm like, oh, I hope that these guys have enough racecraft, which they probably have if you're in the top 36 in the rookie series. I hope they're not gonna fight it out. But yeah, sooner or later, they are gonna battle. So what was I thinking? I was like, okay, let me overtake the car in front so that I control the situation. I want to be in control of what happens in front. Of course, everyone wants that, but you see the gap? I don't want that gap. I don't want that gap to increase. And at first, I did not trust the Peter car. So, always thinking about, ooh, I need to overtake him. Because I don't know if he's gonna make a move. And just FYI, there's only one winner. There's only one winner here in this race. And it's, of course, B1. So, if we lose the draft to the front group, race is basically over. We don't have to fight anymore then. You see the gap? Here I was thinking, should I do it or should I not do it? I'm a little bit too far away. So I hesitated again. Of course, I don't wanna ruin someone's race. Also not my race as well. But as you can see, the gap increased. I'm like, oh, man. We're losing the front guys. And I know that, or like, it's very obvious that the fall fast. If the front guys don't battle, they're gonna drive away easily. If they work together, they're gonna drive away easily. So I was also looking at them and hoping that they start to battle. And of course, having my own race, my own battle with the two cars here. Somehow, we got closer. Interesting point, right? So what do you do now? We got closer to the front group. Are you now gonna make the move? Are you continuing to chill and still settle into the race? What would you guys do? You're gonna see what I did. Again, observing where is his breaking point. Super early. Super early. I see the front guys are going side by side. So, my thinking, I have to go for the move. I want to be as close as possible to the front guys. Because I see that they're going side by side. I need to take an advantage of the battles that are happening in front of me. And I cannot take advantage if I'm so far behind, right? So this is my current mindset now. Okay, Adnan, you have to do what you have to do. Overtake cars. Let's go one by one, because we're close enough to the front group. Stay close to him. I lifted there to get a better exit. To maybe dive here on the next corner, but I was, of course, too far away, and that would be a huge dive. He went a little bit off the racing line, which gave me the feeling that he's totally aware that I'm going after him. Being very close. Playing a psychological game. I have to nail this exit here. All right. I'm in striking distance. Showing myself as late as possible. Making the move. We've done our very first move in this sequence of the race. But now we have a small problem. We don't have a huge draft anymore. We are, I would say, something around 1.1 to 1.3 seconds behind the group in front. So I was really hoping, please, battle, please go side by side. Everyone there wants to win, so go side by side, guys. But they didn't so much. And I'm like, okay, focus, full focus. Now it's time to hot lap. And I see a car on the grass, which means slow down. Nice. So the whole group slowed down. At least him. So he gives me the slipstream now. My next goal? Get as close as possible. As close as possible. Stay with them and create a strategy from there. And it's not that easy to be fast around this track. You do not want to risk many incidents / off tracks. Gotta keep it cool. You also do not want to maximize the tire wear. You don't want to slide too much because you're gonna need those tires at the end of the race in any case. So come on, Adnan. Get closer. And looking behind, no one was in striking distance. They were close a couple of times, but no one was really in a striking distance. So I did not need to focus so much what was happening behind me, which is a very good thing for brain resources, right? So I can fully focus what is happening in front. And at the moment I'm P6. So I am still far away from the Prodigy pass, right? Because only the winner gets the Prodigy pass. So how realistic is it to win the race from here? Not so much. He made a mistake. I had to take care of that. I had to take advantage of it. I had to lift a little bit there. Have the inside. Need to give him the space. And this is what happened. This is Tom's POV. He pushed me. I can show you. I had to give him room. In this situation, I know that Tom has so much more speed. And the two of us, car on the right and the car on the left, the two of us, we don't have that much speed. We lost momentum because we went side by side. Before the corner, at the apex, and at the exit. Fully side by side. I'm very confident that I have 2-3 kph more than the car on the right. But I'm not so confident about Tom, who is in the Peter car. So Tom has so much more momentum. And I was afraid of him going to the left, moving to the left. So look what I did. I defended the left side. Look what happens next. He's pushing. He's pushing me to work together with me to get in front of Melvin, the car on the right. And he did it. moved on. Thank you so much for that, Tom. That was a Giga Racecraft. That helped me a lot. That helped me a lot. But he could take advantage of that dive as well. We keep moving now. We know that Tom is working together with us somehow. He's not fully against us. Of course, we're all competing, but he has some racecraft, so we can work together with him. And with that, I stopped focusing again what happens behind me. I focused only on hot lapping and taking care that we get as close as possible to the front group again. I can fast forward if you want. The gap at the moment is something around 1.5 to 1.8 seconds, which is... There's a slight draft. There is a slight draft, but absolutely not enough to easily get closer. So you have to nail every single lap. Unfortunately, Tom... Let's go back to Tom. He was close, but he was not so close that he could bump me. Right? I was slowly driving away from him. So that was, yeah, very sad, super unfortunate. If we could have worked together a little bit more, if he had a little bit more pace, a little bit more, he could have bumped me again and we could got closer sooner. But unfortunately, that did not happen. But as you can see, I started to gain confidence. Like, oh, wow. Looks like I have the pace. Looks like I am 2 tenths, 1.5 to 2 tenths faster per lap. And at this point, I knew that Jesus, who was leading the race, he could not take care of the tires as we all, right? So at some point he's gonna slow down the whole pack. Slowing down at a high level. Well, that was my hope. But they drove amazing lap times, great lap times, fast lap times. Very secure, very consistent as well. Let's fast forward. Also here, I'm like, whoa, this is a double side-by-side. Carnage is gonna happen. But actually, no. I kept it cool. And I didn't even gain a lot of time. That's the level that we're driving on. Like, they're battling hard, but they did not lose that much time. But we got a little bit closer, which increased the slipstream a little bit. But still, I'm doing consistent, fast lap times. Always slightly faster than them. Important situation. P1 and P2 came together. P3 came together with P2. I had to lift there to not slam into his back. So let's look at that again, and we can move forward. This is P2's perspective. It's a very important situation. We're going to talk about that later. So unfortunate, man. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. This is P1's perspective. Very unfortunate. And this is Cam's perspective from P2. Also very unfortunate for him, which actually ended his race. So he went off track to retire his car. Here, I had to defend. Tom was behind me. So as you can see, there's also luck involved. On one hand, I was disappointed that I was not fully with the front group, but on the other hand, I was also lucky that I was not there because I could have been involved into that. I was not aware who did what. I was basically focused on my racing lines, on my braking points, turning points. Like I was still in hot lapping mode because I have to be quick. I have to get closer. So I see that Jesus P1 is driving away and he has a huge gap. A gap where we don't have any slipstream anymore. And I see that P2, William, has quite severe damage. I thought about going into diving into there, but yeah, not gonna do that. Pretty risky, pretty risky. But yeah, William has quite a bit of damage. He's losing top speed, I guessed at that moment. So it's just a matter of time when we're gonna make a move on him. Maybe Jesus will do a mistake. Because only P1 wins the race, right? So this is white flag, I think. They're going side by side. It's important now. So unlucky. So unlucky for both of them. Very unlucky. I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And then, whoa, we're P2. What? Good, all right. I don't think I can catch up to Jesus. I need to semi-defend against P3. Because you never know what's gonna happen with P1 after the race. Wink. So I stayed on the inside here, but I saw, okay, they're too far away to make moves. Let's just focus on finishing this lap as fast as possible. I wanna still maintain the distance to P1. I don't want to get away because you never know what is gonna happen after the race. Last corner of the race. Already here, I was celebrating. I was celebrating. Checkered flag, checkered flag. Bam. So, let me show you. Distance between P1 and us was 3.3 seconds. So what happened after the race is this incident right here gave Jesus, the car on the rack, who finished P1 in the race, this incident gave him a 5-second penalty for pushing a car off the track. And that gave us basically the win because we were 3.3 seconds behind him and we actually won the Prodigy Pass. The funny thing is, after the race, something around 9:30 p.m., the protest window was closed. Nothing could have changed at that moment. I was live streaming it. People asking, hey, are you going to report him or are you not going to report him? What if it's a racing incident? Yada, yada, yada. So we don't know what's going to happen. Some guys in the chat said, yeah, that's definitely worth giving him a penalty. Other guys said it is very hard, but it looks like a racing incident. So mixed feelings, but we stopped talking about it. We said, hey, we'll see what's going to happen. I decided, of course, to not protest, even though if I would protest and he gets a penalty, I would win the Prodigy Pass. No, I'm not going to do that because I was not involved in that racing incident. Can you comment down in the comment section below? Is it allowed to protest incidents where you were not involved? So basically, I didn't do it because I was not involved, and I wouldn't do it because it's not my incident. So it's basically crossing the fingers that the jury will see that and maybe take action. If they take action, I'm very happy about it. If they don't take action, I'm happy about it as well because it was a wild ride. It was a wild race. I will be still happy with the result. However, if there are chances that you could win the Prodigy Pass, but then you're not actually winning it, or it would be super close or whatever, that would still make me sad. But however, no, I actually won it. He got penalized. He got the 5 seconds. I finished P1 at the end, the official result. That means I'm going to Atlanta Motorsports Park. I mean, how cool is that? It's really cool, really amazing. Of course, I believed in it, but you know, there are very fast drivers in here. Yeah, the chances are not that high. And of course, everyone wants to go for the win. Everyone wants to go to Atlanta and everyone wants to get the Prodigy Pass. So I'm very lucky. I'm very thankful for that awesome opportunity. I'm gonna work hard for it. This is one way of how you can go from sim racing to potentially real racing. So I encourage everyone out there who is racing simulators, who is doing esports, who is trying to become faster in a sim, that can actually get you to real racing. So make sure to follow Prodigy, make sure to follow their challenges. With a little bit of luck, as you can see, you can get the Prodigy Pass. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate everyone who was with me on this journey. I appreciate everyone who was cheering. So thank you so much, chat. Thank you to my very special community. And of course, thank you to Prodigy for that opportunity. Super cool. We're going to see each other in the next video. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. If you don't want to miss out on anything, make sure to join Discord, which is also in the description down below. And yeah, we're going to see each other on track. Have a good one.